They say comparison is the thief of joy. I think comparison is the number one thing you need. You
I think
need
it's the
to be
thief of
successful.
life. You know what I mean? Like I think whoever came up with the comparison as a thief of joy was some soft loser.
Yeah, I
you know what I
agree.
mean? Like I think comparison and competition is what's driven this nation, this world to the evolution that it's experiencing now. We're live. We have another episode of Adversity Kings. Special guest today, good friend of mine, and just a killer in the insurance industry, Joey Schwartz.
Sir.
Right? I said
You got
that
it
right?
right. Yeah, you got it right.
Let's go, dude. Well, let's stay away from politics. Who are you voting for? Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?
Trump for sure.
Thank God, or we were gonna stop the podcast. So let's jump into some real stuff. So this is almost like 300. I always tell everybody this is like about 300 plus gross episodes for me. So I run every episode out of curiosity of how were you raised, what was your life like growing up, your relationship with your parents. So let's start there. I know you were born in California, right?
Yeah, I was born in LA. My dad's a lawyer. My mom's a nutritionist.
Yeah.
Great family, great upbringing. No complaints. No
Yeah.
problems. Yeah.
But now, so were you guys always in California?
Yeah.
Always in LA? Are they still in LA?
Yeah.
Was your dad like a business lawyer?
My dad
Or
is
all different?
he does estate planning.
Okay. Oh, snap.
He does estate planning.
Have you ever read the book from Ben Feldman? It's a life insurance book.
Bro, you sent me a bunch of books, and I'm still gonna order all of them.
Okay.
But I haven't
So
yet.
Ben Feldman made a killing, and I believe he was like the only individual producer in life insurance to do over like close to $1 billion in sales. You know what his niche was? You know how we talk about like mortgage protection and
Yeah.
final expense protection, all the income protection? His was estate planning. You know why? Because
Tax free.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also like your clients, if they're getting hit with estate taxes, because everybody's like a sleazy life insurance salesman will be like, well, you need to prepare for estate taxes. Nobody's getting hit with estate taxes unless they're worth over like 13.6.
Right.
Right. So it's like now all of his clients were worth over 13.6. The federal government's taking 20 to 30%. That's just my estimation. And so now it's like he's pitching a $4 or $5 million life insurance policy every time. So he was racking up the sales. If he sold a couple of those a month, that's 10 million. Imagine you had guys selling 10 like a $4 or $5 million policy. You and I both know that breaks down to like a stupid amount of annual premium. But that's really cool because you said the estate planning, it triggered in my mind. Like maybe that's kind of where you got some inspiration getting into insurance.
He does like a more kind of like I would say like old fashioned, just referral based.
Yeah.
You know, people know him. He's big in like LA.
Yeah.
But he never had the idea to scale and
Yeah.
like build a team of lawyers, hundreds of lawyers doing estate planning for him. That's the way I like to think.
Yeah, the scalability.
Yeah.
What about now? Are you German?
No, I'm like Russian, Polish.
Russian and
mostly.
Polish?
Yeah.
Let's go. And then what about, were your parents born in California?
My mom was born in Michigan. My dad was born in LA. Yeah.
Okay. And is your dad Russian, your mom Polish?
My dad is Russian and Polish. My mom is mostly Russian and like Central European, like Prague, Hungary.
Do you speak any Russian?
No.
Do your parents?
No, it's
Grandparents?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you close with grandparents at all?
Yes.
Do they ever speak Russian to you?
Not really.
Yeah.
They mostly just wanted me to learn English and just be good at English.
Yeah.
But my grandparents are great salespeople.
Oh, so they were in sales too?
Yeah, my mom's dad, he like worked with Steve Jobs to start Apple. He was the head salesman at Apple for the entirety of up until like 2000.
Yeah.
And then just gave him stock.
Did he keep share? Did he keep stocks?
He didn't. He would, dude. I would be in a very different situation right now if he kept stock. And then my dad's dad was in life insurance, just known as like the best salesman for life insurance in LA, just doors, mortgage protection, all kinds of stuff. So I got sales in my blood for sure.
And life insurance sales to
Life
be
insurance
exact.
sales,
So with you having the life insurance sales, do you and your grandfather on your dad's side, do you guys connect on that a lot?
No, because it's so different. He
so
would send 500 mailers a week, get 3% response rate, go knock those doors, get a few sales a week. He did really well.
Yeah.
But it's just a very different model. He doesn't understand e-apps. He's really old.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand like scaling virtually.
Yeah.
And so it's just completely different. But he just although he knows like Aflac, like Aetna, he just can like put the pieces together, but it's just very general.
Now, what about, who were you closest with growing up for the majority of your childhood? Was it mom, dad? Do you have siblings?
Very different relationship with my mom and my dad. Just very different. My mom, I look like my mom. I act like my mom in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
My dad builds a lot of character into me. Just very, very different.
I feel like that's the dynamic for a lot of men in general. You know what I mean? The mother is the compassionate, the nurturer. That's our safe place. And then, like, I think when you're properly raised, like you were, you know, your father, it's not that there's a lack of love, but it's expressed through discipline and standards, expectations. And it's almost, you know, I don't have any kids. You don't have any kids. You don't have any kids, right?
Not yet.
Not yet. Keep that thing wrapped.
Yeah.
But it's almost, I think of it this way, like, you know, as I get older and I think, yeah, in the future, you know, 100 years from now when I have kids, you know, like, you know, having a son, I can imagine you love the son so much, but maybe it's almost even more painful because you can't be overly soft or compassionate with your son, because then you raise up this weak man that is, like, ultimately not even going to add value to society, but more importantly, not going to be able to, like, have this individualism. They're not going to be able to, like, be self-sufficient, you know?
I'm going to be extremely hard on my sons.
Yeah.
Extremely hard. Like, no nonsense. I remember whenever I like lied or did something wrong, like, my dad would actually, like, publicly embarrass me, make me go up in front of everyone, apologize. Like, no nonsense. Like, my
dad was nuts.
my sons will not. Yeah, they're not gonna. No room.
But
for error.
look how you turned out. Look how we turned out. You know what I mean? So it's like you don't appreciate it in the moment when you are getting or experiencing discipline obstacles, challenges, adversity. You're getting punched in the mouth, but you reflect back and it's like, oh, that developed the character needed for me to operate and perform how I need to in this exact moment. So
1,000%.
That's dope.
1,000%.
That's dope. So wait, how old are you right now? 20?
I just turned 21.
So you just turned 21 years old. So you're 3 years out of high school. Did you do any college?
I went to UTLA for 3 weeks.
I remember you
just,
saying this.
Just left. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get into UCLA. You do that 3 weeks. Where are you going for, like, business administration?
Business economics. Yeah.
Business economics. Okay. So you go for business economics. What started to, like, pop in your mind? When did you realize, like, you know, the traditional educational route wasn't for you and you wanted to experience, like, the entrepreneurial world?
I'll give you my real answer. So I walked into class, and they ask, "What are your pronouns?" in front of the entire class to cross the entire room. And
There's no way.
Yeah, and I didn't go back. First class, they asked that, and then I went to like a science class, like biology or something, and they're like, "We're looking at science through the lens of, like, gender." And I was like, "I'm out." I generally didn't go back. Swear to God, I didn't go back after the first day. And I dropped out 3 days.
If we would have had this, man, I'm 5 years older than you. You're 21, I'm 26.
Yeah.
If we would have had that in, like, high school or college, I would have identified as virtual student. I'm doing school from home.
That's what I'm saying.
Peace. That would have been my pronoun.
I know.
School from home.
Yeah, no.
I did get kicked out, so I ended up having to do school from home anyways. But I would have started that way sooner. It's so unique. You know what I mean? Like, it's unfortunate, but it's also super unique that it's like we have a 5-year age difference. In the grand scheme of things, to me, that doesn't sound like much. To you, maybe it does sound, because I remember being 21.
A lot changed in those 5 years.
A lot changes.
Yeah.
You know, I saw a quote not too long ago from some entrepreneur around the area, and it was phenomenal. I stole it, immediately put it into my insurance group chat, and it was, good news, a lot can change in a year. Bad news, a lot can change in a year. And we got a 5-year age difference, and there was no pronoun. There was always some kid in the corner, you know, making bird noises. That was kind of weird. You didn't know what they were getting into.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as like, hey, today I'm a toaster. You know what I mean? Or today I'm this and I'm identifying. It was never like that. You had a blue-haired kid in the back that would screech every once in a while, and everyone would get nervous and worried what was going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it wasn't like, hey, I'm a marshmallow today.
Yeah, no, it was like the flip of a switch and everything just changed. It feels like very fast.
Super fast. Yeah. Imagine the next 5 years.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
I had a video go viral, and you know, I was reminding everybody, and I ended it with this: look how far you've come. Imagine how far you can go. But I look at that in different lenses of, like, look how far our world has come. The evolution, the tech, like, you know, Elon Musk. You see all the robot memes going out right now. When I tell my Tesla robot to go change the something on the car or something like that. Dude, have you ever watched the movie I, Robot?
No.
You guys ever seen the movie I, Robot? Such a youngin', bro. I, Robot. So, like, you gotta watch this movie or something. But the fact that we're gonna have robots, we have robots. You know what I mean? That robot probably exists right now, a Tesla robot. Mm-hmm. The evolution, technologically speaking, but also, like, socially speaking. You know, sometimes, I don't know if you've ever seen, like, pictures of like what life looked like back in the 50s.
Yeah.
You realize that wasn't even 100 years ago?
Yeah.
What are we talking about? 75 years ago, here's what life looked like. And people don't realize, this is what I hate about young people. You don't realize that your youthfulness is the blink of an eye. Just like yesterday, you were 10 years old, it'll be the same exact experience of 21. Just yesterday, you were 21, now you're 31. Now you're 41. Now your parents are deceased, everybody close to you is gone, and all you have is this cumulative effort and thoughts that you built up over 30, 40 years of, I'll do it tomorrow. That's 99% of existence. And it disgusts me when I look at people who are like, well, I have my youth. You have nothing.
I like that.
You're running out of time. It freaks the shit out of me, dude. It was just, I made a story this morning, sent my mom some money, and I'm like, just yesterday I was 16 years old and we were in food bank lines. You know what I mean? Like, we had nothing. We were getting by on $1,500 a month. I sent her $1,500 today. You know what I mean? Like, is that billions of dollars like some of these cats down here in Miami? No. But I am 1,000 times, 10,000 times further than where I was years ago. But it's crazy to see the evolution of everything, especially just a 5-year age difference.
I got very stressed out when I turned 21 because I realized everyone looked at me as like, you're the 20-year-old kid who's making millions and millions in insurance.
Yeah.
And now I'm 21 and it's not that impressive anymore.
No, as you get older, it gets less and less impressive.
It's not that impressive. So I'm like, damn, before 22 is like, I'm like, no, I got to be done like it by 2022. By 22 years old. It's got to be like 1,000 agents. I mean, crazy numbers, or else I'll feel like I genuinely wake up every morning. I'm like, damn, how am I not
sick and depressed?
Yeah, no, like,
and it's good.
I get angry. I'm like, why am I not doing better right now?
Yeah.
What am I doing wrong? I need to work harder every day.
It's a beautiful thing.
Never content. Yeah.
And I put on Instagram yesterday, like, I never want to be surrounded or in the presence of somebody that doesn't feel behind. Feeling behind, feeling like you're failing is an indicator that you're going somewhere. 100%. If you don't feel behind, I don't want to be around you. In every aspect of your life, I want to be around the individuals that are like physically fit, but they look at themselves and are like, the 6-pack isn't enough, I need more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was telling my girl about this. She's like, maybe we have an unhealthy mindset with how we look at life and wanting more. I was like, maybe it's the fat people that have an unhealthy mindset and just look at it like, oh, well, at least I'm not as fat as that person. No, I think we're perfectly healthy.
They say comparison is the thief of joy. I think comparison is the number one thing you need to be successful.
You know what I mean? Like, I think whoever came up with the comparison as a thief of joy was some soft loser.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I think comparison and competition is what's driven this nation, this world, to the evolution that it's experiencing now, where we literally are filming this podcast on this technology that in 80, 90, 2000, 10 years ago, like, when did the iPhone come out? 2012, 2008? We're talking about something like the fact that we're evolving so rapidly in front of everybody's eyes and people don't appreciate that. Like, comparison is the thief of joy for a loser, but comparison is the thief of life for a winner. If I'm not comparing and competing, I realize I'm losing my life. I have no shame, no ego when it comes to that person's making more than me, and it's as simple as they're doing better than I am, or they aren't getting caught with whatever the fuck they're doing. Mm-hmm. So it's a combination of illegal, legal, whatever it might be, but I respect money as it is. I respect numbers as it is. Somebody just knows more. I think everything's information. You know what I mean? So it's a matter of you can collect the information two ways. You either pay with your time or you pay with your money. So anytime I've spent money with a mentor or somebody that has some type of information that I don't have, I know I'm collecting information at an expedited rate, or I'll just go knock doors, dial, recruit, develop, train, work on different technological developments or hire out for different tech just to figure out like, oh, that doesn't work. That's using time to figure out information I don't have to get to where I am not currently.
Yeah, I use money to buy time, and I use money to buy information. That's it.
That's all.
That's it. Because, I mean, when you pay somebody to speak with them, you're paying them for their information.
Yeah.
And when you pay somebody who can do a task that you can already do, then you're paying back for your time. I mean,
1,000%.
I grew a very large back-end team, not just a sales team. Sales team is one thing, but a back-end team to run the leads, the systems, everything. And that was all to buy back my time.
Yeah.
I'm very, very big on that. So I can use my brain power to create new things and then buy that back as well.
Dude, I have so many different employees and staff, and a bad piece of advice I got from a mentor early on in the insurance space was, don't use your mom in business because it complicates things and moms are too emotional. And maybe that can be the case depending on, I think, the emotional maturity of both individuals, the mother and the son or daughter. But I realized I have lost probably a couple $100,000 over the last couple of years of different staff and different coordinations of people having access to my actual like personal life information, bank account information, pay this, do this, and do that, make that buying decision, where there is nobody in this world, for the most part. There's scenarios out there where there aren't good mothers. For the most part, though, there's nobody in this world that has your back more than mom. There's no realer gangster, there's no realer person, realer friend, realer family member than your mother.
No, mom is number one.
Number one. They are the most underpaid people in the world. A mother. You know what I mean? So it's like I look at it and I tell my mom. I tell her every Friday when I send her money, I was like, "You're the most underpaid executive assistant for the last 26 years.
Yeah.
From wiping my ass when I was a baby to keeping me out of trouble and saving me thousands of dollars." And I wish I would have had her in control of everything even sooner.
I remember you told me that earlier, how you were having your mom in front of tasks. And I just switched the whole agency over to an LOA model.
Yeah.
So I control the funds and distribute them.
Yeah.
And I mean, so it's like 1099ing like 150 people for millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So who am I going to have send the money? Nobody but my mom.
Yeah.
Or my sister.
Now, what does the LOA stand for? My girl literally was just texting me about this.
What is LOA?
Line of acquisition or something?
No. I could look it up. I completely forgot.
Jarvis, look up LOA.
LOA. LOA insurance.
You guys ever seen Iron Man? I'm really bad too with podcasts. I talk to everybody, and I really don't give a fuck. Everybody's involved. If you're in here, you're involved. So now you're getting out of college after your 3 weeks of college.
Yeah.
When did you get into insurance? How did that happen?
I got my license May 2023.
Okay.
Somebody told me about it. I was like looking into solar and other
Somebody
kinds
like
of sales.
personally recruited you.
Kind of, but it was more of like a partnership. Like literally, it was just my boy who's like, let's start an
Are they
insurance
still
agency.
in it? The ones that brought you in?
Very long story.
Yeah, I know how those go, bro.
Yeah, I can't even talk about it.
No,
but,
yeah, don't talk about it.
But it ended up having to be cut.
Yeah.
And I had to do my own thing.
1000%, bro.
But
I wish I would have done my own thing at 21. That's one of the biggest blessings I had was staying in a partnership that I don't believe I should have stayed in.
Partnerships are
3 years
safe.
of my life.
Like they feel comfortable when
Yeah.
you're with somebody because you're both assuming the risk. You're not
You have
alone.
that is the most partnering, like legitimately partnering, marrying, partnering, like committing a large percentage of revenue in your life to somebody. That's one of the biggest decisions in your life. And as fast as you are, however quickly you make that decision, whether it takes you should be even faster on ending it when you get red flags and things are they're just not going in alignment. When character starts to unalign and you guys aren't seeing eye to eye, it's like, hey, we need to reconsider what we're doing here.
Yeah, it was difficult because I was just doing better, and so I didn't have a choice. Like you're going to take 50%.
Yeah, you're outgrowing 1,000%.
I'm gonna have $1 billion insurance business, and you're gonna have half of it. I don't think so.
Yeah, no bueno.
Yeah,
1,000%. 1,000% agree.
But he brought me in, give him props.
Yeah,
help
you
me
always
out,
give props. I always give props and kudos.
and always give back. I'll always give back to him
Yeah,
because what we have now is very impressive, and I wouldn't have it without him.
yeah,
But he didn't build what I built. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
yeah. So you get in. What was your first 90 days like?
In insurance, okay.
Well, how fast did you pass the course too? Did you get through the course and test really quick?
Dude, few days. 32-hour course.
See, for those of you watching this trying to get into life insurance, I don't hire anybody now if they don't have a license. I won't take anybody on. We got enough agents. I've got enough things going outside of insurance as well, where it's like, if you reach out to me, you don't have a life insurance license, and pretty much preferably some legitimate like persistency, sales experience, I'm not even gonna like onboard you into my company.
Yeah.
I'll send you to somebody else. But if you take more than a couple days to get the license, that for me, that's always been a reflection of some lazy person. They're probably not going to make it. I have some anomalies where people will take months to get a license and they've crushed it in the business. But for the most part, money loves speed. If you move with a lack of urgency, I don't know from your experience of it, but like those people are usually losers to me.
Yeah. So I played sports all through high school, and I I could deal with people who were very talented but didn't work the hardest because they were still good on the field or on the court. But in insurance and honestly in business in general, I'll take the hard worker over the talented person who's lazy any day.
Yeah.
Like I will always take the person who's working hard and not the most skilled. But if you're lazy and I'll take incompetent over lazy any day. Because if you're lazy, it's genuinely there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're lazy, I have no desire to speak with you, look at you in the eyes, even talk to you at all. Because there's just nothing we can do together.
Yeah.
Laziness is just not acceptable.
Yeah, it's destructive.
Yeah.
Literally destructive.
Yeah. It's not. It's like cancerous within a team. When somebody's lazy, when somebody complains, it's not just you're holding yourself back. You're actually destroying something. You're destroying the culture.
Yeah.
I hate that. I run my team like it's the military. Like we do this amount of hours every day. We do this meeting at this time. If you don't show up, then you're gone. And that's crazy in a brokerage because nobody cuts in brokerage.
Yeah.
Nobody ever cuts agents. It's almost unheard of. But we've cut over 100 people at this point because I just don't do it. I mean, same with you. I just don't want to have bad people on my team. It's not acceptable.
Yeah. Yeah, I usually just tell people to go ahead and call your mom and tell her you don't care about her. If
it's a good one.
I
might use that one.
Go ahead, call your mom, dog. Let her know you're not the son. You're not the king of this house anymore. Yeah. So, first 90 days, what was that like?
First 90 days. So I get my license. I knew I didn't want to sell like right away, Tristan. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah. I knew I didn't want to sell. I love the idea of building a team.
Yeah.
So I started to learn Facebook ads. I was trying to do lead gen before I even started selling.
Smart.
So I was doing lead gen, figuring out all the systems, all the dialers, everything before I even started selling. But I had a couple other guys who were selling with me already. So I had my boys who were just starting to learn. I was like, all right, you guys figure this out. You guys just like start to dial these leads I'm going to give you. And so I went to Costa Rica because my parents like literally wouldn't have me in the house after I dropped out of college. I mean, everyone was pissed at me. Everyone thought I was an idiot. Yeah. So I was like, I'm just going to leave. I'm going to go somewhere secluded. I'm going to work, put my head down and grind for a few months. I did that. And so first 90 days, I didn't even produce. I just built the system that allowed my team to. And then we just started to scale and grow from there. I eventually did start producing, like when I was like 4 or 5 months in, just to say I could do it. Yeah. And I dropped 15K my first week, just without even ever doing it before. But it was never my idea, never my goal.
Yeah, more of like an engineer.
Yeah, I like to move the pieces around. I love to just play with it and just build. Yeah, I love to build. I hate wasting my time. I hate putting my time towards things that I could automate. I'm big on automations. Like I'll automate sending postcards to clients. I'll automate the dialing. I'll automate the training. I'll automate as much as I possibly can. The only thing you cannot automate is like having good people around. That's just you need to connect with people. That's the one thing that you can't automate. You can automate damn near everything else.
Now this LOA model, where'd you get this idea from?
Tristan, I love Captive. I love the way Captive works because I love the culture. I love the LOA. I love the control. I love the systems. And I'm trying to do as much Captive as I can within the brokerage model. So I do everything Captive besides the fact that we can distribute to other companies.
So the carriers put all of the commissions into one account, and then do you have like a paychecks type of company, like a payroll company that distributes the 1099 funds to all the agents?
Correct, but this allows us to do the Captive things that make it special, like bonus, like growth bonus, like colds, like preventing roll up. You know, like if somebody writes a bunch of one carrier, gets chargebacks, and then they replace business with a new carrier, that new carrier will offset the chargebacks from the other carrier, so it's not all divided. Mm-hmm. So it can all be pooled. So it just gives a lot more control and a lot more safety from a manager perspective in preventing roll up. Again, dude, I love Captive because there's no roll up. So I'm trying to like put the pieces together and like converge them like as much as I possibly can into the best of both worlds. Yeah. Because your two options as a life insurance agent is your Captive or your broker. Yeah. And they both have their pros. And if I can merge them, then there's really nothing stopping me from growing the biggest team that exists.
Yeah. That's fire. So first 90 days you're building, you start to sell a little bit just to prove it. And then when did it really start to take off for you?
So it took off in like November. It was doing very well. We were doing 20K days, which I thought I was over the moon. I was so excited when I had 20K day. I was just like, this is crazy, man. Yeah. Like I was literally just flipping burgers, making sandwiches. Like this is surreal. Yeah. Getting all these deposits from the carriers. I'm like, all this money, this is sick. I loved it. And I was traveling with my friends. My life was so good. And then I basically lost my entire team. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to lead. I didn't know how to run meetings. I didn't know how to train. I didn't know how to be a leader. And I lost damn near my entire team. Our production went down to like 4 or 5K a day. It's very rough. And I just started like learning again. Like I got my ego got crazy. I thought I was the man. I was 40K in debt by the end of 2023. And then it wasn't looking good. Like it wasn't looking bright, but I never had the idea that it would fail. It was just like, okay, this is another bump in the road. But then I would say through the first early months of 2024, we started getting our traction back. And I just started building and building and growing and just putting everything back, keep going, keep pushing, working on myself a lot too. I mean, being a leader over the phone to my managers, to my team, being the guy that they could rely on to be the best salesman, the best man, just everything the best. And I built back up.
Yeah.
And now we're 130 agents, 2 million a month.
Yeah, it's fire, dude. That's insane. So from going from the 40,000 and that, getting into, now how long have you been in the industry now? 3 years?
No. I got my
just
license
2?
May 2023, so less than a year and a half.
Less than a year and a half.
Yeah.
And you've experienced so much in a year and a half, dude. That's insane. So over the next couple of years, what's the plan?
I would like to have 1,000 agents in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to have, but I don't want 1,000 just like coded. It's easy. I want 1,000 working agents, like working 25 hours a week minimum. Like working, producing, making money. I want to have like a crazy team that works and does well. But I don't like the idea of the top 1% making all the money, and then because I want everyone to be making at least 6K a month.
Yeah,
that's my goal for the entire 1,000 people. Some people will make 50, 100, but I need everyone to make at least bare minimum, be able to pay their bills 5, 6K a month.
Yeah, minimum.
Yeah. But the biggest issue there is building the managers, because I can train people myself, no problem. But I quickly realized, and I've been at 2 million a month for the last like 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been able to scale. Keep bringing on new agents. I don't have the managers yet. I don't have these. We scaled so fast that my tertiary managers, they're not competent enough to build another team of 40 people.
Yeah.
My directs are good. My tertiaries are not. So we're trying to build them. And I'm like, dude, whatever we got to do, like, do we have to fly these guys out and work with them for like literally a month, like 20 guys in a house just working with them? Whatever we have to do, I have to do it. But they're just not prepared yet. And so I keep trying to scale prematurely, but I need to build my managers first and just get some killers. And you always tell me quantity creates quality. And I just need to build these killers now so I can scale. Because right now it's just not possible. You need really stable layers of management to minimize the dilution of quality from level to level. Because I look at it as one level of dilution from me to my directs, another level from them to their directs, another level from them to the agents, and it just gets way too diluted. So I need to minimize that and just build them into better managers.
Why don't you just buy good managers from other companies?
How do you offer that? Like literally put a price tag and be like $10,000 to get coded?
Yeah. Well, why not?
Like almost like a signing bonus.
It's literally an entire industry, mergers and acquisitions. So I read this book. This multi-billionaire built up his entire $1 billion portfolio over merging and acquiring other businesses. You know what I mean? Like, why spend your time developing when somebody's already been developed? Just buy them. When you have the cash, now you use your time to develop the cash. Use the money to buy back your time by buying someone. You see what I'm saying?
I think it's a lot less stable, is my thing. If you develop them from square one, all my top managers, my guys, like they were nothing before me. They were nothing before insurance.
Do you want an intimate relationship with all of them, or do you want to get to 1,000 agents as fast as possible? If you want the intimacy, then develop them yourself.
I don't want 1,000 agents if it's not stable.
Yeah.
The number one thing, I know that my managers are locked in with me forever.
Yeah.
So
well, they can't be forever. The only reason being, and because I used to think like this, is everybody dies, which is like super like crazy. But like I've had people die on me. You know what I mean? So because I used to think to myself like, oh, how do I keep everyone forever? And this helped me with turnover, because people were like, oh, well, you can't keep everybody forever. I was like, no, I'm going to build a cult. Like, I'm different. I'm not like you. I'm going to keep everybody forever. Regardless of, they could make more there, they could do that there, they have a better system there. I'm going to keep everyone forever. But then I was like, the only thing that's guaranteed and permanent in this life is death. So I can't own anybody or keep anything. But I agree with what you're saying, but I also think of it as there's always going to be instability. For there to be stability, then scientifically speaking, there would have to be something for it to be stabled against, some level of instability. You know what I mean?
I look at the time that I spend building them is like the glue. Like I could bring them on, no problem. I could hire dogs and like bring them on.
Why can't you develop the glue after, like, because like the NFL does it? You know what I mean? Like, that's what they do. Those kids spend 20 years getting developed, and then they just buy, I'm going to buy that quarterback. I'm going to buy that team. I'm going to buy that. You know what I mean? Like, just buying it and developing the glue.
There's no obligation to stay, though. There's no they don't need to stay. They can go anywhere. They can go wherever they want for a higher contract.
Yeah.
Whereas my guys from high school, like my actual friends from high school, like they were literally flipping burgers before they met me. Now they're clearing $50K a month. So I actually changed their lives. They're locked in with me. It's just very different. When I bring on a guy who's already been used to money, I plug him into my system. Yo, I'm gonna make you more. I don't like the instability. I like building I like everything internal, everything fresh, everything ground up. And maybe that will force me to scale slower. And maybe you're right.
I only think of it in regard to like, I'm thinking about like $1 billion. You know what I mean? Like getting to $1 billion. Because then I think of, well, how are all these other guys getting to $1 billion? I look at like the top 3 wealthiest men in the world right now. Where you have Bernard Arnault, you have Jeff Bezos, you have Elon Musk. They all have one thing in common, a common denominator. They have 100,000 plus employees minimum contributing to their companies and businesses. There's no way that they didn't do buyouts, mergers, acquisitions for executives and high-level leadership positions to develop up sectors of their businesses that they, necessarily, I don't know, didn't want to spend the time per se. Usually at that level, it's time. Like, I don't want to waste the time. Like you said, like the sooner you can look at time, it's like, oh, dude, I don't even want to spend the time on this. That's the only thing I think of. But like even being in the captive space, I think of that as like, dude, there's a lot of limitation there. So like when I listen to you, it's like, yeah, I'll give some insight, but I also get insight on like, well, how do they think in the brokerage world? You know what I mean? So I like that as well. But now as like I've gotten older, I'm like, dude, I've wasted so much time training motherfuckers that like, you know what I mean? They were going to be dumb anyways. They were like, something was going to happen. You guys are 21, but you're going to be 25 and someone like one of your friends is going to get someone pregnant or something like that. And it's like, dude, you were making 50 grand a month and you were flipping burgers. What changed? Well, I don't care anymore about life. Yeah. I just want to play Minecraft, hang out with my kid. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Life evolves, though. That's what makes this game beautiful. And that's what, like, I think somebody like yourself, you're always going to be hungry because it's like a maze. It's always, but it's like an infinite maze. Like, it's always evolving. Imagine getting put into a maze that never stays the same.
True.
That's business.
That is business.
Because I always tell people, like, the markets change, lead strategies have to change. Everything changes.
It's always evolving. But I just, like, I run my business on control.
You have to have a core. Yeah, you have to have a principle. You have to have your core group. I think it always has to be that intimacy, that real, like, blood in, blood out mafia, mob, loyalty type of, like, yo, we're in this shit for life. I got guys like that are like, hey, they've gone some months making no money. Mm-hmm. And they've gone some months making 100 plus in a month. It's like crazy. You know what I mean? It's like
they're there for the ride.
They're for the ride, man. But the biggest thing is you'll find, because in the sales world, there's a lot of like manipulative leaders that'll use loyalty and these like charged words around character to like manipulate and try to get individuals to contribute to their top line revenue longer, or I don't know. I've just personally experienced that. So, but like, I think the biggest thing is you'll find like it's almost like this, and you'll hear like really good psychologists talk on this. If somebody says, "Hey, can I be honest?" If you really think about that, like, why would you ask for permission to be honest? Are you not always honest? Hey, can I be loyal? Hey, I'm going to be super loyal to you. We're going to have a really loyal relationship. Loyalty over everything. Why are you overemphasizing loyalty? Are you not always loyal? Something that is second nature, something that is ingrained into your soul, that is a reflex. Do you have to bring it up to people, or is it just a part of you?
Yeah, it's part of you.
You know what I mean? It's like when you really love somebody. Hey, do you love me? I don't question your love. I don't question your loyalty. I don't question your honesty. That's who you are. When it's really a part of you, you don't have to question it. You have, like those watching this right now, if someone is overemphasizing and using these charged words in the sales world, business world, or any relationship, maybe you should question. The biggest thing is behavior. People have their intentions. How many agents have come to you and say I'm gonna do what you've done, Joey?
They all say that.
Joey, I'm gonna do what you've done.
50 plus.
I'm gonna do what you've done, Joey. Yeah. I'm gonna beat your systems, your numbers. I'm gonna do exactly what I'm gonna take your throne.
Yeah, I love it. I love when I hear that, but you get desensitized to it. I'm still young in the business.
Yeah.
So I still got somewhat PTSD from losing my entire team.
Yeah.
So I just love the control.
Yeah.
I need to own everything. I need to run everything.
Yeah.
And just like hold it, like keep it stable. It's like my baby.
I agree with that. I think there's a percentage of almost like when I talk to tech people and they're like, oh, this is my intellectual property. I'm like, okay, that's good, super good. But do you think that you are the next, I don't know, Nikola Tesla? Like you're just some super genius? You think this can't be discovered? Maybe not now. Maybe not next week, but over time, this is going to be like, that's why it's like, I think over time as you get older, you start to realize your real power comes in looking in a man and looking a woman in her eyes and exposing the details of here's how I did it. But are you willing to go through 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Are you willing to give your life to this? Because they might get the recipe from you. Somebody might hack your recipe. They might get information that you didn't want them to have. But what is the endurance of a man? I've broken. I like just being in business. I've broken so many men's souls. As a young man, 21 years old, knocking doors, 8 to 9, day in and day out for years, and just watching grown men cry, crumble. He's 19 years old. How's he doing? He's 20 years old. How's he doing? Even now, at 26 years old, it's like, how is he still doing the same thing over and over and over again, despite all the adversity? I've lost millions of dollars. You've lost millions of dollars. It's like. How? I love the competition and looking a man in his eyes and seeing the soul come out of his eyes. Almost like you'll watch like Michael Jordan has something on Netflix. So what's it called? The Jordan something. I don't know.
The
Last Dance. That's my soul. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'm not even playing for the money. Sometimes I just want to show people I'm gonna give my life and dedicate my life. Something I tell my girl. I was like, when I officially marry you, one of the vows, probably one of the main vows is going to be, I vow to you for the rest of my life, I'm going to grow. I may not be a billionaire tomorrow, but you put me in a room with 1,000 men, 100,000 men. I'm going to come out on top or I'm going to die. That's my vow to you. That's my vow to my people. That's my vow to my mom, my dad. Like, hey, I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. I've lost so much money, but I promise I'm going to grow in every aspect of my life. And I see that in you. And it's really why, I wanted to more so just befriend you and like look at this kid, because a lot of guys my age, this is the prime state, 25 to 30 is where you're in this testosterone primed ego, where it's like, I look at the numbers you're doing in insurance. I'm like, dude, I respect this kid is blowing everybody out of the water. You're doing crazy numbers. A lot of these guys, older than you, younger than you, they're gonna look at it with ego, like, oh God, Joey's doing this, Joey's doing that.
Well,
like,
everyone will message me, okay, I see you're doing all these numbers, man. What's your persistency? What's your guys' model?
They're all soft.
Are these this is issue paid, or is like,
yeah,
dude, 2 million issue paid on the books, 75%, 80% normal, done deal. Why do you keep asking me these questions?
Yeah.
So it's like everyone wants their little thing. Like, oh no, he's doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing this with your agents. Like, no, I just built something that's good.
Yeah.
Like you and you didn't know what to do. So and you didn't want to work as hard as me. You didn't want to put in the 16-hour days that I did. You didn't want to be 40K in debt building for 8 months so you can have a lead pool with all your boys eating before you even made $1. Yeah. Nobody wanted to do what I did.
That's the key.
So it's like, all right, like cool, you can keep talking, but I'll be a billionaire while you're just afraid to put in the 16-hour days and go in debt, which I wasn't afraid to do.
That's the key right there.
So
that's sick, dude. Man, is there anything else you want to talk on, cover? Anything you want to shout out or plans?
I mean, I'm in the mindset right now of content for sure.
Yeah.
I
see it.
I want to be a leader who people can use as social proof. Like Joey, he's the one who runs it.
Yeah.
Like look at Joey, he runs the show. It needs to be okay. Oh, Joey does it. Okay. Kind of like, you have that presence as well.
The leader's leader.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like who's the leader of the leaders?
Yeah. I mean, everyone in PHP, Patrick Bet David.
Yeah.
Like, respectable. Dude earned it.
Yeah.
That's how it's got to be. It's the content. It's doing everything. It's, ultimate control over the organization that I run.
And you're going to do it. The only other variable you're going to have that's going to work against you is the years. Like as fast as you're going, that's the only, like you'll really start to cement it into people because you're only a year and a half in. When you're 5.5, 10.5 years in and it's the same, you've been working out, reading, praying, generating revenue for 5 years, it's cemented into their brains. You know what I mean? Like you cement it into their mind of like, I'm an endurer.
The thing is, Tristan, I could lose my entire team tomorrow. Like I could go bankrupt. Like it doesn't matter to me whatsoever. Like I wouldn't even bat an eye to it. I wouldn't even be upset.
Yeah.
Swear I wouldn't even be upset. I could lose everything tomorrow. All right, we're back to work. No problem.
Yeah.
I think getting rich and like being extremely successful is not measured by what you want. It's measured by how much you're willing to sacrifice. And there's very few people. I don't think I've met anybody who will genuinely sacrifice what I will. Nobody will do what I'm willing to do.
Yeah.
So it's just they just don't got it. I could lose it all, dude. Swear, no problem. I won't even be upset about it.
Yeah.
I mean, same with you. What happens if you lose everything tomorrow? What, you gonna give up?
I'm gonna threaten a few people and then I'm gonna get back to it. So no, but dude, that's the mindset. That's the energy. I've had to restart like 3 times. I've lost everything in the insurance business. Maybe probably about 3 times where I've lost like over 50, 100 guys. Massive amount of money lost. Stupid stuff I can't even talk about through bad partnerships, but it's all a blessing.
It is all a blessing. Every loss is a lesson.
You can't get the blessing without the lesson. It's literally spelled within the blessing. So this is incredible, bro. Where can people find you? They want to work with you. They want to learn from you. They want to just follow you. Where can they find you? Just
on Instagram is fine. At Joey A. Schwartz. Got a link in there. And
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Make sure you guys go check out my boy, Joey Schwartz. Change the game. Change your life. Leader of leaders. Young man. Let's go. Peace.